Well, Coach, back in Boone, and we'll look into what that looks like for late November to getting to wrestle in varsity gym. But another road trip this past weekend to Morgantown. You wrestled three different duels, lost to a tough Princeton team, beat Glenville State, and then won 4 of 10 matches against a ranked top 20 West Virginia team. And it's a big picture, but just your thoughts on how Sunday looked from your crew.
Well, I think that this schedule that we've had the first 3 weeks of the season has been really tough. I mean, we've got a really young team and a lot of inexperienced guys. And, when we were originally building the schedule, obviously we didn't know how things were going to shake out and last spring. And, obviously very tough schedule to start the year off, I mean, and I think having Princeton and West Virginia, who are both really, really good teams, and battling. I mean, I think each one of them had at least 6 nationally ranked guys in their lineup. West Virginia had more. But, it provided a big test for our guys, and we had a lot of young guys that, they're getting trial by fire right now. And I do think the good thing is I think that there was a lot of positives that we took away from last weekend. I mean, you look at, we had 2 nationally ranked wins for our 141-pounder Aldo Hernandez and Caden Keyser, our 149. I think those were really big wins in the West Virginia duel. And, our guys are getting live reps, and, the more matches we're wrestling against high-level competition, the more experience we're gaining. And we need a lot of experience right now because we're really young and inexperienced.
Beyond those ranked wins, I don't know if there are a few other things that stood out. I mean, I think of Jerry Price in the Princeton match got a late takedown to win. I think both of Stefan's matches at heavyweight were close, and he came through late in those. Were there some good things you saw in kind of those short-time clutch situations out of your guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of positives to take away from those 3 matches. We don't like going 1 and 2 on any weekend as a team, but Stefan had a great day. He wrestled really composed and got it done late in those matches. And I think he's starting to wrestle a lot better and wrestle with more confidence, and he's becoming a more complete wrestler in all 3 positions. And then, Jeremiah Price continues to have a good year, and, he's had a really tough schedule. Every weekend he's been wrestling a lot of nationally ranked guys, but still finding success and finding a way to get his hand raised a lot. So there was a lot of good moments. I thought that, Stefan had a really good weekend. Jeremiah Price wrestled tough and, had a good win against Princeton. And, Logan Eller looked good the first couple matches. So there was a lot of positives that we could take away and build on from last weekend.
With such a long day, there was also some chance where there was some young guys that maybe got their hand raised for the first time in a duel, or some guys that have got the opportunity to be in lineup that haven't. And, I think about Alex Hopper wrestling up at 184. Just seeing some of those guys taste success for the first time. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I think that was the beauty of having the 3 duels, and although we wrestled Glenville State in our second match, and they're a really quality Division II program. I didn't know a whole lot about them, but I've seen since then that they're ranked pretty high. They got a lot of their guys ranked really high in Division II. But it provided me the opportunity to wrestle some guys that might not always be in our lineup. And I think in that match we wrestled 5 or 6 different guys and got them some reps against some good opponents. And so it's always good when you go on a trip like that and you take that many guys. You want to get as many bodies in the lineup and get some reps in as you can. And fortunately we were able to do that this weekend.
Host some tournament action in varsity gym this Sunday. Just you offer a little preview of what to expect from who's coming, the quality competition, and the format.
Well, I think it's going to shape up to be a really good open tournament. Obviously, University of North Carolina is sending a lot of their guys. Ohio University will be here, and then you got teams from all over the Southeast. Tennessee, Chattanooga, Gardner-Webb, NC State sending some guys, Presbyterian, and so I think it'll be a good mix of competition, and I think it'll be a pretty deep field. I mean, I think right now I'm projecting between 175 and 200 wrestlers in that open. So, weight classes will probably be from 8 to 16-man brackets, and we'll do double elimination. And so, we're looking forward to a good weekend, and it's going to be nice to be at home. We've been on the road for the first 3 weekends, so it's kind of nice to be back in varsity gym.
Is there any kind of focal points, or each individual has their own thing, but just as you go into this weekend with basically your whole roster getting to wrestle some points of emphasis that you're making this week?
Yeah, we got to be more offensive. That's been the message in practice this entire season so far. We've got to take more risks. We've got to score more points, and just being a little more consistent. I think we've had some really good moments in these first 3 weeks, but we've had some really inconsistent moments. So a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and I'd like to kind of balance that out to where we're trending more in a positive direction. And so the message to the guys is we got to be consistent. We got to be consistent, whether it's our pre-weigh-in warm-up or our pre-match warm-up or our nutrition throughout the day and our energy levels. Managing that throughout the tournament to make sure that each match we're able to put a lot of energy and our best effort forward. And so, we're growing up and this team's getting better. I think it's going to be really good, a good team, and we just got to keep building and growing. And, that's probably our two main points of emphasis: consistency and scoring points.
Just maybe last thing you mentioned, it's good to be home. This event and then back-to-back weekends, you've got that, and then the NC State duel on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Just kind of mentally gearing into, I know they're different events, but being at home and with two events in close proximity to each other like that.
Yeah, we love being in Varsity Gym. I think we have a very special atmosphere in Varsity Gym, and so it's always a great day when we can be in our home venue and compete in front of our fans, and I think our guys always look forward to it. And so we're excited to be back in Boone for a couple weeks. This weekend's format will be a little bit different with the tournament, but then our opening home duel of the year will be a big one against NC State a week from this Sunday. And they always bring a big crowd, and they're going to be ranked top 7 or 8 in the country, and it's always going to provide a really good test for us. And so our guys like that. We like competing at home. We like competing in the friendly confines of Varsity Gym.